So rotor construction, coming to the rotor construction of the three-phase induction motor, the rotor of a squirrel cage motor, okay, the rotor of a squirrel cage motor contains no winding. Squirrel cage induction motor is no winding, so only bars, okay, only bars are placed in this rotor winding. That is called here instead of it is a cylindrical core constructed of steel laminations with conductor bars. Okay, conductor bars mounted in parallel to the shaft and embedded near the surface of the rotor core. Understood? This is a squirrel cage. This is the, so try to construct here. This is the figure. You can easily understand. So this is called squirrel cage induction motor. Okay. So this is called different type of bars. Okay, this is called one bar, just like a rod. Okay, this is not having any winding. The rotor of this squirrel cage induction motor is not having winding. Only the bars are using. Conducting bars are used like this. Okay, conductor bars are placed in parallel to the shaft of this induction motor. Understood? So this is called squirrel cage induction motor. In this squirrel cage induction motor, the bars are placed like this, parallel to the rotor shaft. Okay. So here these conductors bars are short circuited by an end rings. These conductor bars are short circuited by an end rings like this. These rotor bars are short circuited by end rings. This is called end ring. Okay, this is called end ring. The here also, so one side this also end ring. It's called A. A is called this end ring, end rings. Okay, and also this B is also one of the end rings. Two end rings are short circuited by the rotor bars. Okay, these rotor bars are short circuited like this. Okay, so like this, the rotor bars are this squirrel cage induction motor is short circuited, and then coming to the conductor bars are short circuited by an end rings. Okay, at the both ends of the rotor core. Understood? In the large machines, these conductor bars are end rings. Conductor bars and the end rings are made up of copper. Okay, these end rings and this conductor bars are made by copper for large machines. With the bars brazed or welded to the end rings. Okay, I'm already shown in the figure. Okay, in small machines, the conductor bars are and end rings sometimes made by aluminum. For large machines, the bars and end rings are made by copper. Okay, made by copper. Understood? For small machines, okay, small machines and the conducting bars and end rings are made by aluminum. So this is the difference. Okay, the bars and rings cast as in a part of the rotor core. Okay, actually the entire construction, okay, resembles the squirrel cage, for which the name is derived. Understood? So that's why the name is given like this: squirrel cage induction motor. Okay, this is a squirrel cage induction motor. These are the different type of conducting bars. Okay, these are the number of conducting bars. This is not a winding, so just conducting bars are placed like this. Okay, these conducting bars are short circuited by with the end rings A and B. So this side and this side, and the conducting bars are placed parallel to the shaft. Okay, and here for large machines, the conducting bars and end rings are made by copper. For small machines, the conducting bars and end rings are made by aluminum. Okay, understood. And then coming to the concept, come here, next paragraph. The rotor bars are here. The rotor of a rotating part is not connected electrically. Understood? The rotor of the rotating part, that is called rotor, is not connected electrically. Okay, to the power supply. There is no power supply directly to the rotor. Okay, we are not giving any power supply to the rotor winding. Try to understand this concept. So only we are giving the power supply to the stator winding, not to the rotor. Same as a transformer. So we are giving the power supply to the primary winding, not the secondary winding. So because of mutual induction, because of electromagnetic induction, the secondary side, so EMF induced. Understood? Same also here also, the rotor is not connected to the power supply. The rotor of rotating part is not connected to the electrically, okay, to the power supply, but as a voltage induced made by the transformer action from the stator. Understood? The rotor or rotating part in it's not electrically to the power supply. Okay, it's not connected electrically to the power supply, but as a voltage induced by transformer action from the stator. That means stator winding acting as a transformer primary winding, rotor is acting as a transformer secondary winding, but rotor is rotating here, but in transformer rotor is stationary. Okay, for this region, the stator is sometimes called primary and rotor is referred to the as a secondary. Okay, of the motors is the major motor operates on the principle of induction, as the construction of the rotor with bars and endurance are resembles a squirrel cage. Squirrel cage induction motor is used. Understood? So stator of this induction motor is considered as a primary winding. Okay, so primary of the winding of the transformer. Stator of the induction motor is called primary winding of the transformer. Rotor of this is considered as a secondary winding of the transformer. The rotor is referred to the secondary winding of the transformer. That means the induction machine, that's why the induction machine is called rotating transformer. Rotating transformer. Okay, so what is the difference between transformer and induction machine? Is only external losses, that is called mechanical losses. Only mechanical and friction and windage losses, that is called friction and windage losses are takes place. But in this transformer there is no friction and windage losses, but here there is a friction and windage loss takes place there. So only only one difference is called this is there is a frictional and windage loss, that is called mechanical losses. Okay, then the rotor bars are not insulated from the rotor core. Okay, the rotor bars are not insulated from the rotor core because they are made of metals having less resistance than the core. Okay, just like a conductor. As a conductor is made by copper and aluminum. That's why it's not insulated by metals. It is not insulated. Okay, the rotor bars are not insulated from the rotor core because they are made metal having less resistance than the core. That's good. The induced current will flow mainly in them. Also, the rotor bars are usually not quite parallel to this rotor shaft, but mounted in slightly skewed position. So slightly skewed position. This feature tends to produce a more uniform rotating rotor field and torque. Also, it helps to reduce sometimes some of the internal magnetic noise when motor is running. Okay, there is some concept regarding the squirrel cage induction motor. Understood? And so here, the rotor bars are not placed exactly to the shaft. It's not parallel to the not parallel to the shaft. The rotor bars is not exactly parallel to the shaft. So these rotor bars are some angle, placed in some angle to the rotor shaft. A small angle to the rotor shaft because of it. So to reduce the noise. Okay, to reduce the noise and also to produce the uniform rotor field and also torque. To reduce the more uniform rotor field and torque, and also to reduce some noise, to reduce the internal magnetic noise, the rotor bars are usually not quite parallel to the rotor shaft. Understood? The rotor bars are usually not quite parallel to the rotor shaft, but are mounted slightly skewed position. That means some angle is made with respect to the shaft. Okay, the rotor bars are made some angle with respect to the shaft. Okay, because of this reason, more uniform rotor field and rotor torque, and also to reduce the internal magnetic noise and motor. Okay, when motor is running. So this is some advantage of the squirrel cage, the information about the squirrel cage induction motor rotor construction. And then coming to the end shields, that's called end rings. Okay, the function of two end shields, that's called A and B. Okay, the function of two end shields is to support the rotor shaft. They are fitted with the bearings and attached to the stator frame with the help of studs or bolts attached. Okay, so this is called end shields. End shield, the function of the two end shields is to support the rotor shaft. They are fitted with the bearings and attached to the stator frame with the help of studs or bolts or tensions. So these are tensions. Okay, this slippery induction motor, stator construction and rotor construction. This then coming to the slippery induction motor, squirrel cage induction motor rotor construction is over. Okay.